There's people I know, they go to shul, they're 25, 30 years old, they don't know how to read Hebrew. Chas v'shalom, their parents died at a young age, he doesn't even know how to read Kaddish for his pops. He can't even read Kaddish for his pops, it's scary. He has to pay somebody else to do it. And you ask him, why don't you know Hebrew? I don't know Hebrew. What do you mean you don't know Hebrew? You know how to pay your taxes, you know how to buy a house, you know how to cut hair, you know how to count money. If money was in Hebrew, you would understand money. But you don't know how to read. Rabbi Akiva, at 40 years old, I read it today. Everybody knows the story of Rabbi Akiva, 24,000 students, yes. I read today a small story about him, I thought it was amazing. Basically, he was in Jerusalem, and according to what I've read today, there was a man named Kalba Sabuha. He's a rich man. He had a daughter. He really liked this girl. So he decided to date her. Long story short, the father tells her, listen, if this guy does not learn Torah, I don't want him to be my domont. He's not marrying you. And if you're going to be with him, I'm disowning you. Straight up. Imagine that. Little did he know that Rabbi Akiva, the one that he said he's going to disown his daughter for, at 40 years old, learned Aleph Bet. Then he went to yeshiva for 12 years and gathered 12,000 students. His wife gave him the honor of going to yeshiva. She didn't nag, complain, where are you going? 12 years he bounced. He left for 12 years. Came back with 24,000 students. Another 12 years he came out with 24,000 students. What is this story trying to tell you? It's never too late to start. I see some people, they come here without a kippah. I never come up to you guys. Unless I'm trying to joke with you, I don't tell you to come with a kippah. I had a lady complain last week. She was like, you know, the girls come here, the guys come here, they have no respect. And I took your back right away. They go, they don't keep it clear. I said, listen, at least they come to shul. They came over here, they're quiet. And I take back what I said, where I said there was 2 little students. Bless you, Michaela. A lot of you guys show up, and I want you to focus on what I'm telling you. It's never too late for you guys to start. And I started Rabbi Akiva because a person asked, he said, Rabbi, can you do me a favor? Tell me the whole Torah in 2 words, 3 words. Very simple. Love your fellow as you love yourself. It's hard to do. How can you love somebody the way you love yourself? I want to see you do good. It's not better than me. You know, you ever heard this term? It happens in business all the time. So Rabbi Akiva acquires 24,000 students. Now his father-in-law, he finds out that this guy became this big rabbi, 24,000 students. He fell on his face, bowed down to Rabbi Akiva, and gave him all his wealth. We laugh at these people. The people go to yeshiva, like, oh, look at this guy, goes to yeshiva, has payers, he's a clown. This clown is the reason why you guys are still safe, and Jewish people aren't getting jumped in the streets, and Israel is still Israel. I have an off-topic question. I sit with people, they always talk, you saw the Israeli army, the rockets. I'm like, no, sure, what are you talking about? What are you saying, the rockets? Do you understand what would happen if by accident the rocket just landed? By accident. If you guys think it's the Israeli army protecting Israel, it's not. It's events like these. It's girls who dress modestly, boys who watch how they talk to each other. 24,000 students died. You trying to say all 24,000 of them were bad? How's that possible? Maybe 100 people, 1,000 people, 24,000 students are bad? No. They used to degrade each other. They used to degrade each other. They used to talk down about each other. They used to talk behind each other's backs about each other. Understand what that is? You have to love your friends the way you love yourself. It's hard today. It's very hard. I have this problem too. It's gava. It's a lot of pride. You have to think before you talk to somebody. Anybody know why you have lips, a tongue, and teeth? So you could think 3 times before you talk. You got 3 steps. Think about it. Lips, tongue, and teeth. You know, you can punch somebody in the face hard. 2-3 weeks, he's going to have a bruise. Put some ice on it. He'll be back. But you can say something to somebody and completely destroy it. I know all about that. I was very nasty as a kid. I used to say stuff purposely to hurt people. Purposely. Not pointing fingers at you. I would point fingers at myself. And now I look at these people, I'm so ashamed. I'm so ashamed to look at these people in the face. I'm like, I used to go to yeshiva with this guy. I used to harass him. When I used to be in yeshiva, do you know what I used to do on the bus? I used to throw people around like it was WWF. I'm telling anybody who remembers from the yeshiva, I used to toss people around the schools. No remorse, no nothing. Disrespectful. People don't forget that stuff. But now that we got older, I see these people, it's all love. We come to the synagogue, it's all love. You have to love your fellow the way you love yourself. And it's a big lesson in life. I'll tell you, I don't care what school you go to, yeshiva, public schools. And I have this argument with everybody. They say, oh, I don't want my son to go to yeshiva. They don't know how to act there too. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But you want to hear my statistic? How many of you would send your kids to the military if only he was going to be a chef, but there is 1% chance that he can go to war? Would you send your kid? Never. Don't even put your hand up. I'll throw this microphone at you. You would never. You know why? Because I wouldn't risk 1% for my son to go to war. So why would you put your son or your daughter in public schools? Are you normal? What are the chances of your daughter being with a Spanish guy? Wow, I know plenty. What are the chances of you, Bahari men, being with a Goya? I know hundreds of them. It's not about knocking on wood. First of all, we don't knock on wood. You know who does this a lot? It's a Christian thing.
Essentially in life, you're going to have to get around with morals. It doesn't make a difference where you came from, what yeshiva you went to, if you had tzitzis, if you prayed like this. They won't leave down. I do this all the time, but I'm like in a trance when I do that. Don't pray for yourselves, pray for somebody else. Honestly, I'm embarrassed to ask Hashem for help. I'm embarrassed. There's sometimes when I desperately need help, I'm like, Hashem, what are you going to ask Hashem for? What are you going to ask Hashem for? You have everything. Baruch Hashem, all our parents live in houses, apartments, you have everything. You see one of your friends down, go help him. You wake up in the morning, if you could help somebody, you could stop, help him. I had this thing that I like to do. My wife also used to like to do this. We used to drive by the bus stop and see if random people we know, hop in. In Israel, it's very common. In Israel, people stand outside like this with their thumbs out. I did it many times in Jerusalem. I heard it was a big mistake after. I could have got picked up by some Arab person. But they pick you up. They pick you up. If you can help somebody out, if you can make somebody make parnasa, make some money, why don't you help them? If one of your friends needs help in school, why don't you help them? If one of your friends wants to borrow a dress or wants to borrow your eyeliner, like, oh, she's not going to give it back. Let her borrow it. I know that's a common problem with you guys. She took my blow dryer, she didn't give it back. What's wrong? Sharing is caring, especially with you Jewish people. We have this thing, I'll tell you one thing, a lot of people, they have a stigma saying Jewish people are cheap. It's a lie.
We're the most generous.
Most generous. And I'll tell you how I found this out. Purim. I went to Jerusalem on Purim. So, I came with like a whole stack of $20 bills. So I came to the hotel. I came because, and some guy comes up and goes, hey, listen, I got 10 kids. My son's wedding's coming up, so I'm like, obviously $1 is not going to help this guy. So I give him $20. Then another guy came up to me with a different story. He had like a daughter, she's getting married. So I'm like, obviously $1 is not going to help this guy, so we give it to him. When I see change on the floor, people laugh. They're like, oh, if you throw change on the floor, it's actually like a gimmick. Like if you throw change on the floor, a Jewish person's going to pick it up. Can I tell you why I pick it up? Because I know instead of that money being on the floor, I can give it to a homeless person. You see somebody outside, he's homeless? You have a yarmulke on? You have a yarmulke on? Take your change and make sure he sees you give it to him. Jewish, non-Jewish, doesn't matter. I have this one problem I have. If somebody puts out their hand, even if I know sometimes they're lying, which is not good to do, you give it to them. Somebody took out their hand, you give it to them. Love your fellows, you love yourself. It's important. Today's day, you need that. Our society is very disrupted with everything that happens on social media. They think they know what's good. They follow trends. What has she got? What is she doing? Wow, this guy is diesel. I'm starting to go to the gym. She goes to the gym. She's doing these workouts all day. That's what we're looking for. That's important in life. And I love you so much. Sorry. I'm probably going to choke you out after this. So what I'm trying to tell you, listen, you guys don't come here to learn Torah. You guys come here to get morals and ethics that just so happen to come from the Torah. You're not going to change in a day. You're not going to change tomorrow by me telling you this. But listen to what I'm telling you. There's times I go to the park, I go to Jewel, I see the way you guys talk to each other. Disgusting. It is horrible. Horrible. Especially you guys talk about each other's moms. Let me tell you something. Before, you guys have no idea how serious this is. Before you used to talk about somebody's mom, you would get You have no idea. Not even a moral thing. It's not a Jewish thing. You don't understand what this means.
100%.
You have no idea. And I see people go say, yo, your mama. What you mean your mama? I already thought, when I heard your mama, I turned around, I was like, somebody's going to get knocked out. Can't do that. You guys degrade each other. And let me tell you something. I work in my shop. I see a bunch of Baharian kids come in, so they see that we have, non-Jewish barbers, Spanish guys, Italian guys, black guys, and they're like, they degrade each other in front of them. They degrade each other. He was like, yo, he's a herb, don't listen to my boy. You just gave him, you laughing. You're laughing. You know why? Because you guys look for acceptance from these people. I'll tell you one thing, I used to beat these kids up in school. I'm telling you straight up, don't look for acceptance from nobody. Look for acceptance from yourself. I understand right now, it's like funny, you hear somebody talk, you're giggling, laughing. It's like, this doesn't mean anything to me, but let me tell you. Every time I give you guys, I'm not going to close the lecture, every time I speak with you guys, I speak to myself. Why? Because I need this more than you need. And if I need this, Kalvachomer, you need this. You need this too. We're a disrupted society. Don't follow trends. Remember, if you can help one of your friends, don't think twice. It counts. It counts. I mean, people go to work every day. What do they go to work for? For money. You go to work for money to make parnasa, to bring home, to take care of whatever you need. That money you're not taking to the grave. The mitzvot, the good deeds that you're doing to each other, you're going to take it. Like I had the privilege of going last week with a few boys to the mikvah. These guys are not older cats. They're 16 years old. They're like, yo, Avi, would you like to go to the mikvah? You know how happy I was? I'm like, yo, we out. We went, we said bracha, we went to go see the Rabbi Milubavitch. Small things like this, little gestures, they don't say anything. You see a person's down. Yo, you alright? You look like you're upset. What does it cost you? Come up to this guy, come up to this girl. It takes 2 seconds. By the fact that you're talking to them, you're going to make their whole day. I know there's certain people, I'll tell you one thing. When I get upset, there's nobody who can cheer me up. When I see somebody upset, I will make a dead person laugh. I'm telling you, I don't like to see people upset. It's a stigma. You can help anybody around yourself, but you won't be able to help yourself. You know how I feel good? If I make somebody else feel good, it's like me feeling good. It's the same, how they call it, high. It's the exact same high. 100%. It's the same thing for me. I feel good by making people good. You should do the same thing.
Happiness makes everybody feel good.
I'm telling you, this is my biggest drug. If I can make somebody happy, that's why, to be honest with you, right now, Omer is the hardest time for me.
Oh, yeah.
You know why?
Because you're a musician.
Not only that, yes, but it's so dull without music, and I understood that. Why? Because you have no idea what we have in store for you guys when you come back to the music. The show is just going to be impeccable. We have a play coming up. It's called the KosherBoyz play. It's going to be something out of a movie that you guys haven't seen before. We're preparing all this stuff, and I noticed that I sat with the rabbi, I'm like, Rabbi, I'm miserable without music. I told him, I was like, I can't. We have these events and it's so dull, and people still come. Place is packed. Cross check. A few empty seats, but it's okay. Like I said, we filtered the people we didn't need. And I noticed the people that are here now are usually the consistent people that come, and it only shows that you want to grow. No, I offer my friends to come to the synagogue. You know what they say? I'm not going to shul. There's too many fake people over there. They all judge me. There's fake people over there. But I'll tell you, when I go to shul, the people that I pray with, they're very caring, very giving. They want to help you out. Their mamish want to help you out. So, I'm going to go on and on about this topic, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you. Love your fellow like you love yourself. Don't be an egotistic person. Don't think about you. How can I help somebody else? Do not give with the intent of receiving. I had this problem where sometimes you expect from people, like, yo, how many times I gotta help you out? When are you gonna help me out? You're not gonna say that. But sometimes you do something for somebody and you expect for them to give you something back because it's morally correct, but you shouldn't have to tell that to them. They should know. You know how you can practice this? The majority of the time you see people in the street, like I said, it doesn't matter, Jewish, I don't care if they're anybody, human being is a human being. Kiddush Hashem is Kiddush Hashem. Somebody held the door for you. Thank you so much. Go ahead of me. Would you like to sit down? These are common sense. We don't got to explain this. Unfortunately, we do because people lost it. Like I see this all the time. People walk inside the store, they open the door, they see an old lady over there with the carriage. She walks into the door like this. I'm like, this guy's like. I understand that the generation is, how do they like to call it, evolution. We're evolving. But are we losing our minds? Are we losing the moral code? Back in the day, you don't have to tell people, don't talk about each other's mothers. Today, you got to tell to them. You don't got to tell people not to steal. I'll tell you one thing. They ask 3 things when a person goes to the next world. You know what the 3 things are? Who knows these 3 things? Great. This is good. Did you conduct business honestly? It's the first one. Can you imagine that? Out of all the things you could have asked me, were you honest when it came to money? Let me tell you something. It's really impossible to find honest businessmen. And if you do, he's very successful. Why? Because everybody wants to work with him. He's honest. Second one, did you make time for Torah study? Who knows the third one? Huh? Huh?
Respect your parents.
Did you wait for Mashiach every day? By respecting your parents, Hashem says if you cannot respect your parents, there's no point of you doing anything that I'm trying to do. Your parents come first. If you curse your parents or you cause your parents to cry, I'd rather not say it.
You're in trouble.
Bro, I have this one friend who lost his father. I'm not going to say what happened. And he was in bad terms with him before his pops passed. You know how he eats himself? Do you have any idea? I tell people, you know what's the best way to end a relationship a day with anybody? Never goes to sleep if you have beef with somebody. Don't think you're degrading yourself for trying to squash the beef. Anybody could punch somebody in the face or pull a girl's hair or degrade her and say, I'm not talking to you, don't talk to me, or like this. It takes a normal human being, a strong human being, to say, you know what? I forgive you. I'm not going to retaliate. It is what it is. It's from Hashem. They say that's one of the ways the world moves. Imagine somebody violated you, like completely disrespected you as a human being. And you could tell them off, like, yo, that's how you feel, yeah? Your mom, or something like that, whatever it is. You know, a natural reaction. Because what else are you going to say to piss this person off? If at that point somebody got under your skin and you held yourself, ooh, my man, you're making the world move. Why? Because you're going against nature. I remember before like this, even light disrespect, you say something to somebody, they would swing at you. I don't know if people, am I bugging? You understand what I'm saying? People didn't take this, they didn't tolerate it. Right now everything's so passive. Oh, it's okay. It's two different ways of talking. Shut up. Stop. Shut up. I said the same thing. Just the way I said it. You have to be careful the way you talk to each other. It's very important because the way you talk, people look at us. People look at us, believe it or not, people look at us. Especially if you're wearing a yarmulke. If you're going to do something stupid, take off your yarmulke. Please take off your yarmulke so they don't think I'm like you. Please.
Don't do anything stupid.
Don't do anything stupid. Honest truth. Like I said, I really hope you guys caught my drift. Today, due to the fact that it's Omer and I cannot play any hip hop for you guys or have any music, which I desperately wish I could. First of all, you need to be able to have a proper dress code when you guys come to the synagogue. It's like common sense. Dress normally, no shorts, no t-shirts. Have some respect for yourselves. You come over here, at least look proper, number one. This joke that I wanted to tell you before we wrap up the class. There's this one kid, very problematic kid. His parents didn't know what to do with him. They sent him to like 13 yeshivas, a public school. It's like, yo, what is wrong with you? Why is every teacher complaining about you? You know what? We're sending you to Catholic school.
Amen.
Oh yeah. Foreign kid, they sent him to Catholic school. So the kid's going to school. Not only does he pass, he actually got a scholarship, became an honor student. So the parents at graduation are sitting down. Let me ask you a question. You've been going to all these schools, you got kicked out of all these schools. What was so different about this school? Especially when you became like a professional in math, you became a mathematician. He goes, well, I was walking around the hallways and I saw this one guy, he was nailed to the plus sign. I knew they weren't playing games when it was coming to math. All right, guys, to wrap up this class. What was can anybody tell me the epitome of today's class? What it was? So once again, thank you guys for coming to this class. Hopefully, the next class we got hip hop back. Performances are back. Thank you very much.